Hello everybody, welcome back to Cannonball Cottage. Today we're going to do a little Turkish flatbread known as lavash, and also we're going to be making a little bit of a steak dish to go with it. What we've got here is some steak that I've pounded out, hammered out. All it was 2 sirloin steaks that I've cut very thinly and then pounded it out to make it go further really, or indeed ease of cooking, to quicken the process up. And I'm going to put some marinade on it, and in here we've got some rosemary and some chili flakes and also some black pepper. And we're just going to mix that through a little bit. We've also got some garlic, 4 cloves of garlic that have been finely minced. We have a little bit of white wine vinegar that helps to tenderise the steak. I'm also going to be putting in this little bit of leftover tomato juice. Mix it all together, and also some olive oil. There you go, that's that. Mix it all together, and then just gonna throw it into the dish with the steak, and we'll just give this steak a good mix round with this marinade. And there you go. Some's covered a bit more than others. Some hasn't got anything on yet. But just keep on turning it around until you get all these thinly sliced pieces of steak coated in this marinade. And there you go. So in the meantime, while that's soaking up this marinade, we're going to be making a little bit of bread. And in the processor here we have 200 grams of all-purpose flour, teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Let's get those out of the way. And we've also got 100 grams or 100 mil thereabouts of warm water. So we'll just give it a, let's get it mixing, and we pour this water in slowly until it starts coming together to produce a little bit of dough. Finally, put the last bit of water in, making rather a noise. I'll just stop it, just have a look at it. It's a little bit slightly tacky, just a little bit. I'm just going to add a little bit of flour. There you go, you see that's all there is. That's all there is to this particular bread mix, this dough. And there's no yeast, it's just flour oil, salt and water. And there you go, look at that. Brilliant. How simple is that? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to weigh it, and I'm going to make 4 equal parts, just to make 4 slices of bread. See what we've got. Got 340, 170, or 344 divided by 4. I think it's 85 should do it. I think it's 84, that's 88, 78, 83, 89. Take a little bit off. 84, 84, 84, and this one's going to be a little bit bigger. I can't. There you go. So move these scales out of the way now to make myself a little bit of room. And then what we're going to do, pull them together like so, and make a little ball. And let them sit for 5 minutes or so. Let them rest slightly. Just bring them round into a nice little ball. Bring them into the middle. You can see this. I hope you can see this properly. I hope I've got this on show so that you can see it. And then we'll just leave that for a few minutes, like so. Just pull them together and make this ball. Like so. There you go. You have 4 lovely little balls of dough ready to be rolled out. Now, in the meantime, what we're going to do is heat this pan up, and we're now going to start preparing this hammered beef, and make sure that it's all been coated nicely in this marinade. And it's looking good. So far so good. And just on the cooker at the back there, I've got a cast iron pan that we're going to use to. I've got it heating up, and I'm going to bring it here so that you can see this bread being cooked off in the cast iron pan. While this is cooking away. Well, basically all this is going to be it's the steak that's marinated in this rosemary, garlic, chilli, vinegar and olive oil. And then once it's getting close to being completed, I've got some cheese here. You can use any cheese of your choice. I've got a little bit of halloumi cheese, basically because it needed using up, and I've also got some cheddar cheese. But you could use mozzarella, your choice. We'll just see if we're getting anywhere with this olive oil. That isn't quite hot enough yet. It's quite slow actually. I might move it to here. This has got a raises high. This one only reaches a certain temperature. This one actually reaches a much higher temperature. So we're just a little bit delayed there. In the meantime, while that's just getting warmed up, I've just had to nip out of sight there. Very unlike me to be anywhere in the cottage without a glass of wine in my hand. I just left it in the other room, so cheers everyone. There you go. So this sounds as if this oil's coming up to temp. Yep, it is indeed. So now we're going to start by adding this marinated steak. And immediately the smell is absolutely fantastic. I don't know if we're going to get all this into this pan. I think we're going to leave it, just leave it at that, I think. Just move this out of the way. And there you go. Cooking away nicely. I'm now going to move it onto this back burner here. And because as I said, it's not as hot, but it just needs a little bit of time to cook through. Now what we are going to do is bring across the other pan in a moment, but now we're going to roll out this bread and get it cooking away. Put that there, and you'll see. Get the roller. Just give it a few rolls. It's quite, as I said, it's known as lavash, this particular bread. Flour, water, a little bit of flour on it. You know, no special methods to this. Rough and ready, very rustic. There you go, look, absolutely wonderful. Look at that. I'm now going to turn that down slightly. And we're going to bring across this pan that I've had warming up, cast iron pan. Make sure as you keep the handle, and there's a handle there as well, make sure as you keep the handle covered with a cloth, and in it goes. Let's get some temperature on this, of course. And we just got to, I'm just gone over the top there, start again. Right, and let that cook through. And of course, while the bread's cooking away, we'll turn over the steak. And as you can see, look at that. That one's turning back up again slightly now. But excellent. Wonderful. Steak's well, for me the steak is done because I like my steak rare. Just get that turned over. That's it, lovely jubbly. And that smells as if that's a bit too hot. Oh, it's not too bad. Not too bad. As you can see, it's just burnt it a little bit there. It's actually slightly too warm. But there you go. That's I'll just get some butter ready. Put some butter on the bread. I'll just quickly get some butter. Spread on the bread. To keep it nice and moist. All you do, just keep on turning it, and that's virtually done. Yeah, that little bit there just needs a little bit more encouragement to finish off. Cook one side, just needs to cook that side. And I'll get a cloth. That's the wrong drawer. Get a nice clean cloth to cover the bread. There we go. There you go. That's one of them done. And I just got some butter, and we just rub some butter over the top, and now we just get another one of these balls of dough ready for rolling, and there you go. Just put the cloth over the top of that bread just to keep it moist and warm. There you go, look. Absolutely wonderful. And there it is. In it goes. Into the pan it goes. So there we have, this steak is well on the way to being finished. So now what we're going to do is turn the temperature down, and we're going to sprinkle the top of this cheese over the steak, and let the cheese melt away, and not too thick. We try and keep it all, spread it out so that it melts nicely. There you go. And what we'll do is just drop a lid on that and let the steam do the work. I don't know if I can reduce that slightly. Yeah, that's it. We've got that reduced. And here we are waiting for this other flatbread, lavash, to cook through. Let's turn the power up again. Quite a simple little meal. Perfect for sharing. Just place this on the table once the cheese is melted and your bread's cooked through. Tear some bread off and use your fingers to pick up your steak, and ideal. Nice little supper, perhaps. Let's see where we are with this. In the meantime, we'll get another one done. All you do is just flatten it out, as you would do if you were making a pizza. You know, just press it out and stretch it. Then you just roll away, roll away, turn it 90 degrees and roll again. It doesn't have to be a circle, a round shape. You can make it any shape you like, really, but if you want to roll it and make it look more like a naan, that's up to you. This one's now beginning to get a little bit of movement on it. Look, you can see it's expanding and the air inside is working well. So there we go, that one's ready now. Let's see how far we are for this one. Yeah, that's getting there, almost done. Just a little bit on the edge there that this pan isn't hot enough around. You'd think this cast iron pan would generate enough heat, but and that's it. You know, you need to bring that bit there closer to the middle. Let's just get that done. I think that should be it. Oh, look at that, that's coming on fantastic. Take that down to a minimum, let that just melt away. You're one of the oldest breads in the world, lavash, Turkish bread. On it goes on top of this one. And add a little bit of butter. All you do, just rub a little bit of butter over the top, put your cloth over and move on to the next one. And of course, the last one of all, get that one, get this one rolled out. First, just flatten it out like so. Go. Brilliant. Sticky a little bit, that one is. A bit of flour. So there you go. It's the last one. See how we're doing with this. There's an art in this, and that is, if it's too hot, you can see you can sometimes burn. And if the heat isn't high enough, it doesn't cook through very well. But on this particular hob that I have here, we're at the highest temperature, and I did try and get the pan as hot as possible, so that it would cook these this flatbread pretty quick, but it is doing it. You can see where it's rising now, this warming through, creating these air bubbles. You can see how the steak and the cheese have all melted together. absolutely wonderful. And of course, all this juice needs to be used up when you dip the bread into these juices. And that's it. Look at that. Wonderful, wonderful lavash Turkish flatbread. In the meantime, I'll take the lid off, and while this is cooking, we'll just take a little bit of this flatbread, and basically all you do is sort of rip off some of the flatbread like so, and it's obviously too hot, this is, but under normal circumstances you'd just use your fingers and some cheese like so, and wrap your flatbread, give it a dip, and yum, yum. Oh. Yeah. Yum. Absolutely. And I mean, absolutely incredible. It's so simple. And wait, excuse me, mouthful. What's not to like? Fresh bread, steak marinated, the flavour, a hint of chilli, absolutely, and the sauce is incredible. Well, absolutely wonderful. Now, you could serve this now. Obviously, you know, make your salad up, some onions and tomato to go with it, and make a wrap with this, and you will not be disappointed at this. This is absolutely exceptional. It's beautiful. So there you go, folks. What we've got here is hammered or pounded beef, marinated in rosemary, chili, black pepper, garlic, olive oil, and some